Love to involve you in this. Any questions, concerns over the projects that are ongoing and about to start, those that have stalled, speak to us. Twitter at KTN News KE at Akisa Wandera. I'd like now to speak to Engineer Okinga, who's the director of Kura. There have been a lot of concerns about how we are addressing or how we are treating the low-income areas. I understand there's a project to penetrate, that's helping penetrate these areas. Kindly speak to us about that.
Thank you, Akisa. Before I answer that question, again, there's a lot of echo, so it's a bit difficult for me. Thank you. Thank you. Now, before I answer that, let me go to the question of the northern frontier that you just talked about before the break. Let me say, I want to reiterate what my colleague just said. There's no place in this country that can still talk about marginalization when it comes to the road network, because when you talk about the northeastern province, as it were, before the devolution, we have currently ongoing projects. We have Wajir Bypass, which is currently ongoing, being undertaken by Kenya Urban Roads Authority. Sometime in 2013, we opened up Lodwar Town roads, access to St. Teresa's, access to the stadium, and this completely opened up the area. Actually, this was the first tarmac that was being seen in that town since pre-independence days. We are also talking about, currently we have just rolled out a major project in Marsabit, about 900 million project in as part of Marsabit Town Roads project being implemented. We have done about 3 projects in Garissa, Bulamadina, to all those areas within the town of Garissa. And so when you talk about marginalization when it comes to roads, I think it is a thing of the past. It is no longer there, just as my colleague had already said. Now, talking about penetrating the vulnerable areas, really, and we want to thank His Excellency the President, because we are now in the process of rolling out a project that is going to touch especially within Nairobi, all the informal settlements. You talk about Kibra, you talk about Dagoretti, both west and east. We talk about Madare, all of them. We are currently in the process of rolling out a 5.5 billion project that is going to open up, in terms of the roads infrastructure, is going to open up all these informal settlements for purposes of emergency response and also just for purposes of service delivery to the vulnerable. The most important bit about this, number one, is going to be for purposes of COVID response to COVID-19 pandemic, and also for purposes of employment or creation of employment through the Kazi Mtaani program, where we are going to have the youths within these informal settlements are going to be actually employed as laborers in the road construction. About 300 million is also going to be used in the provision of water. So basically we are saying that we are going to provide roads, we are going to provide water, and also there's also going to be a provision of street lighting to the tune of approximately 1.4 billion. So we are talking of a massive project of approximately 7.2 billion Kenya shillings, which we are rolling out in all the informal settlements within Nairobi. As I had mentioned, you talk about Kibra, you talk about Mathare, you talk about Mukuru kwa Njenga, Mukuru kwa Ruben, you talk about Dandora, you talk about, Kawangware. All the informal settlements are going to be opened up, and this is a project which is going to be implemented very fast as an emergency, just to, number one, for emergency response, number two, for service delivery, and also number three, for purposes of employment creation as a response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So that is what we have in plan. Actually, is already being rolled out. Thank you.
Remain very optimistic about these projects, the amount of money put in, and of course the completion dates. There's always that concern of contractors taking longer than what had been earlier stipulated to do these projects. Are we addressing that as Kura?
Yes, Akisa, this has been addressed. This is being rolled out as a single project, and it has been awarded to a very capable contractor in this country. And so we are very optimistic about the delivery of this. Remember, this is being delivered as an emergency response to COVID-19, and therefore we had to put measures in place to ensure that it is delivered both in time and within cost. Thank you.
The Director Kura has briefly talked about the Kazi Mtaani. We're aware that there are some monies, perhaps to a tune of 2.5 billion shillings, correct me if I'm wrong, has gone towards Kenha to support this. How are we planning to spend this money on young people as Kenha?
Thank you so much. We have this program which is being targeted to assist the vulnerable. And we have set aside about 2.5 billion shillings. And we are going to make sure that at least the work we are carrying out is on labor-based so that we can employ as many people as possible. If you have looked at what has been happening over the years, is that we have what we are calling performance-based contractors. And these performance-based contractors are on the ground and they employ labor to assist in doing works that are basically, which can easily be done by labor instead of employing machinery. For example, clearing vegetation, clearing drainage, pothole patching, and all these works really are labor intensive. So we expect we are going to employ over 19,000 people full-time for 1 year. And that basically is a big contribution to Kazi Mtaani. So we expect that working together with the county commissioners and working together with the leadership in the villages and in the highways, we want to get these people so that then we can be able to give them employment. And this is going to assist the vulnerable in terms of getting income now that there is a lot of activity that the country, economic activities has slowed down. So I want to thank His Excellency the President for this project, because this project is going to reach out to the young people and the women and the youth for the purpose of making sure at least they have livelihood. And this is going to be entirely on all our carriageway. We have 18,500 kilometers, out of which 11,000 kilometers is paved. And on these paved roads, this is where majority of the people will be in clearing the drainage, as I mentioned, and clearing the bushes. Akisa, I think you appreciate that over time now, we have been able to ensure that at least you can be able to travel through our network without necessarily having to hit a pothole. Some time back, it was a story that used to be normal, that you cannot be able to travel for 100 kilometers without hitting several potholes. Now we can tell you that you can travel even 500 kilometers without hitting one. And all this has happened because of what I mentioned, that we changed the strategy by making sure that we have contractors throughout the time. Because what used to happen before is that contractors would move in, do the works that they have been instructed, And after that, of course, you may find there's no contractor because already work that they were supposed to do has been done. But then when you have a performance-based contractor, it's meant to be there 365 days. And therefore, any problem that arises on that road can be attended. And that's why you have realized that we are able to attend even to emergencies very quickly and sort out problems that people can may have. You know, as you are aware, road network, whether it's being handled by Kenya National Highways or KURA or KERA, it's just like the blood vessels that we have in the body, that you have to ensure that there is connectivity to the last point of the country, and therefore we do our part as national highways, and that is picked up by KURA and also KERA, so that people can be able to reach to their destination without any problem. So we work together as the three authorities and one PS in infrastructure, and therefore coordination has been easy to be able to carry out our work. Also to say that even at regional level, county commissioners are also coordinating the works that we do, and therefore also that allows that we plan together, and when we plan together, then we don't expect duplication coming from what county is doing and what we are doing. So that has also been able to bring about the success you see in the road sector today. Thank you.
All right, and I'm seeing a number of questions on our platforms. Let's take a look at a number of the questions to have both the engineers here respond to them. Zephania Nthiwa says, thanks Akisa, Engineer Mundinia, the road from Matu Ekalakala has stalled since 2017. When is Kenha likely to complete the road? And another question for Engineer Mundinia. Kindly talk about Magadi Road, Bomas, Rongai, Kiserian Road. We are suffering. A lot more questions here on Twitter. We are seeing Abdul Nuro say, ask the engineer from KURA what plans they have for Syokimau that has deplorable roads. Abuto Alfi says, kindly ask Engineer Mundinia the status of the stalled Kisumu-Kakamega Road. There's a section that is quite painful to drive on. We also have Clive Amolo who says, Akisa, please ask Engineer Okinga whether KURA has any plans to dual Ngong Road from Karen into Ngong Town. That is Jack from Ngong asking that. And Abdul Nuro again asking, when are they starting Isiolo Wajir Road and what is the expected completion date? Let's take two final ones so we respond to them in blocks. Someone in my inbox called KMS says, ask KURA or Kenha when the Rombo Taveta Road will be done. And Angeline on Twitter says, hi, could you ask Engineer Mundinia when Lamu Isiolo Road is expected to start? I think we'll respond to some of these questions. A lot of them, I hope we were able to note down one or two. I'll start with you, Engineer Okinga. A number of questions posed to you.
Thank you, Akisa. Thank you. There was echo. Regarding Syokimau, generally, I would like to say that we have made quite a bit of interventions in that area. We started with Syokimau Katani Road Phase 1, where we spent approximately 180 million to improve a section of that road. The second intervention came where we spent approximately 402 million to complete the Syokimau Katani Road. And that is now paved and, the Wananchi are enjoying. Then we started on the Quarry Road, the Mlolongo Quarry Katani Road, again Phase 1, where we spent approximately 1.6 billion Kenya shillings. Right now, we have just awarded Mlolongo Quarry Katani to the quarries to support one of the big four agenda for the Jubilee government, which is manufacturing and value addition. we have just awarded a project at approximately 2.6 billion Kenya shillings. So that one is going to commence in a month or so. In the coming financial year, we want to continue with that and now push that all the way to Joska and Kamulu. We also have another road through the low-volume seal road project, which is coming from Kinani to also come to Joska. And so we are really making progress in terms of opening up the Syokimau area. I would want to ask the caller to just give us time. Sooner rather than later, we shall have really provided for Syokimau area. Regarding the caller that talked about the Karen Ngong section, this we have in the financial year. We have planned for a section of it in the financial year 2020-2021. You will notice that from All Saints Cathedral coming to Prestige, we did that through assistance from JICA. Then the second section of Ngong Road that we have now completed, again now starts from Prestige to Dakureti Corner. And then Ngong Road Phase 3, which is currently ongoing, approximately 80% complete, starts from Dakureti Corner all the way to Karen Shopping Center, and also including the loop that is passing through, you know, there's a loop that comes to Karen Road and also covers a section of Langata Road. And then now what we have planned as Ngong Road Phase 4 now starts from Karen Shopping Center, and it will move forward towards Ngong. So we have this in plan.
All right, let's get Engineer Mundinia to respond to some of the questions addressed to Kenha.
Thank you so much. A number of questions have been asked. I think, to be precise, 6 of them. One of them being Matu Karakara Road, which the caller mentioned has stalled. I want to say that I've picked it up. It's not Dakenha, but it's Kera, sorry. And I will be able to pick it, to be able to get hold of my colleague, the Director General of Kera, so that they can be able to look at that. The other one that has been mentioned is Magadi Road, from Bomas of Kenya to Ongatalungai to Kiserian. Surely that road is congested, and for sure, when we were looking at the roads that were congested 5 years back, that road was still one of the highly congested road. And then the other one was Outer Ring Road. Outer Ring Road was able to get resources from ADB, and it's already done. However, this one of Ongata Rongai was placed at the annuity program, which is the PPP. We have now gone to almost the tail end of it, and we believe that works can be able to start maybe in 6 to 1 year's time, because as it were, and as the request is coming through, that section of our road is highly congested and requires to be improved. Now, somebody has mentioned about Kisumu-Kakamega. Generally, Kisumu-Kakamega Road is actually quite good. The only section that is bad is between Kisumu Boys to Maboreo, a section of like 4 kilometers. That section we had a contractor who we terminated because of non-performance, and as a result of that we have tendered and we have gotten another new contractor. We expect in 2 months' time the contractor will be on the ground, and works that are yet to be done are going to be completed. So there is no problem there. Then someone has mentioned about Isiolo to Wajir. As I mentioned when I was giving a land of the projects that are ongoing or are coming up, that road is part of Isiolo, Wajir to Mandera, the 744 kilometers I mentioned. And that section is already being funded by World Bank. We have already even put it to tender, and tenders are being opened on 30th of September. So we expect come December, January, we shall be able to get contractors on the ground and works are going to proceed properly. Somebody has also mentioned about Rombo to Taveta. Actually, specifically, there's a road that we're doing between Erasit to Jokini in Taveta, about 57 kilometers. Again, this was packaged under annuity, and we are also at the tail end of it. We expect within 6 months or before 6 months are over, the works can start. As you know, PPP, sometimes it takes time. Then the other one that was mentioned is Lamu to Isiolo, and that is part of the RAPSET project. And again, it's also being undertaken through PPP. And we expect within 1 year we should be able to conclude the negotiations that are required, so that we can get a contractor on the ground.
Thank you, Engineer. I'm being told we don't have too much time, so quickly give us your closing remarks as we wrap up, Engineer Mundinia.
Let me take this chance, Akisa, to thank you so much, and I thank KTN for this opportunity. Seriously, there's a lot that we can be able to share with the Kenyans about what is happening. A lot is actually happening in the countryside, and it's good that this opportunity has been given, though short, to be able to share a little bit of what is happening within the country. We are available and we are ready to engage. And I think even the questions that are going to be asked, you will share with us so that we can also be able to get back to Wananchi.
Thank you. That we will do. Engineer Okinga, wrap it up for us.
Thank you, Akisa, for organizing this. It's always good that we have a chance to really let Kenyans know what is happening in the road sector. As Kura, we are committed to providing efficient and safe urban road network. And not just that, Akisa, I would like to highlight other things that we do, especially in the area of intelligent transport systems. Right now, we are in the process of rolling out a signalization contract that will come up with, signalized intersections to make sure that, all our intersections within the city operate optimally. That means, giving more green light to where it is required, to the arms of the intersections where it is required. We are also in the process of coming up with an urban transport management center. This will be able to help with control of traffic and optimize, traffic flow within the city.
Right.
So there's a lot happening, and we would like, if you could be giving us more opportunity to talk to Kenyans about this.
Definitely. Thank you very much. We'll be organizing such forums to be able to educate Kenyans on some of the issues, arising issues, pending projects, ongoing projects. Thank you very much. Our guest tonight, Engineer Peter Mundinia,